Hey, what's going on, man? This is your guy, Ryan Hollins, senior NBA veteran, ESPN analyst, and wow, I'm intrigued, man. I heard your new fictional novel about 9 boys deciding to play basketball as girls in a girls' league. That's got to be quite a story to tell. It's called Transgender Hoops, man. That's an intriguing one. Good stuff, brother. A hilarious story with a gut check ending. Sold out multiple times on Amazon. Check us out on Netflix soon. But I mean, guys, you can already see the storylines going on, man. They're probably going undefeated in the season. You guys got to figure it out, and then maybe you take it a loss, man. So you're figuring different roles out. So wow, great story, man. Make sure y'all check it out soon, man. Shout out my guy Anthony Lunsford.
Ryan made a nice quick move. Up top, Hollins on a smash from Parker. And Denver not communicating. Nene gets caught in the no man's land and gets the hammer thrown down on him.
21-17 on TNT. Phone, by the way, is hit that he might want to coach somewhere else. Inside Ryan Hollins and a table set from Daniel Gibson.
Daniel Gibson penetrating into the middle, and Ryan Hollins throws the hammer down.
Not their calling card. They're working on it. But this is what they can do, score the ball, as Wright missed the left-handed runner. Davis up the floor to Daniel Gibson. Up top to Hollins!
Cavaliers running up and down the floor. Nice pass by Booby, and Ryan Hollins throws the hammer down.
The Suns are gonna pass on Luka Doncic.
Wow.
Listen, when I played in the Spanish league, this kid was about 16 or 17 years old at the time, balling out for Real Madrid. And for those who don't know, if this is baseball, he's playing for the Yankees at 16 years old.
Wait. If this is soccer, he's Cristiano Ronaldo with Real Madrid.
Exactly. So this Luka Doncic, as I watch him, he's 6'8", 6'9". He can shoot the ball. He's a guy out of this entire draft that understands angles, and he's a guy also that can play the point guard position in a positionless basketball game and play on the ball, off the ball. You can put this guy anywhere on the floor. He's going to be successful.
So tell us a little bit, just a little bit, no spoilers to Matt here, about the book.
Okay. Well, it's so hard to avoid getting into it, but here's how it goes. The story's about 9 guys, high school boys, that are basically get put in a bad situation by abusive coaches. And I know you've got a kid that plays hockey, so if you've either had at some point in your life a bad coach or you've seen them in action on other teams, and us as parents, it's so hurtful and it makes you so angry. So you get to see what happens, and that's kind of what sparks this whole story. It was written really as a fictional sports novel to get your interest into it, and that's what happens in the story. That's what sparks it. These poor boys have no chance of going to college. They had these great college dreams of playing sports and earning a scholarship. Without that scholarship, they have no chance of going to college. So in rolls into the story two gentlemen that kind of transform and changed these young men's lives, not in a good way for them, but not in a good way for the rest of the world. And what happens is they find a loophole in the system. And we all know what that loophole is. It's that blind political correctness that enables you to, in 1 second, be able to say, I choose to identify as a female, and now I'm allowed to play in women's sports. I'm allowed to play against girls the next day without taking any hormones, without doing any kind of surgeries, without seeing anyone. You just selectively do it. And that's what sparks the story. These 9 boys have an event that pulls them together from 4 different high schools here in Cincinnati. I won't mess that up. You got to read it to get it. But and they move on and they have great success, and they use, as bad as it is, they end up using that political correctness and that identifying as female as like a force field for them. They're untouchable because everybody knows that the PC sledgehammer will come down on you hard if you buck up against them. So they take advantage of that. Story goes on, and you're really going to have to read it. But the end of the story is that point to where realization hits, and that gut check. And it'll be that gut check for every reader that reads the book about, what have I done? Basically, in the process of doing this to help 9 boys, I've burned Title IX to the ground. I've destroyed women's sports. It's that's over. So that's kind of, I guess, the little spoiler alert part. That's kind of short version.
Reality.
Yeah.
Reality. We have almost half the states now letting children do this, identify as